Let's cut straight to it.
This is you, standing in the lobby of a glass tower in Lower Manhattan. 23 years old, a new suit that's too tight around the collar, a college degree that cost you $200,000 in debt, and a naive belief that you're about to conquer the world. 47 floors above you, someone just signed a $2 billion acquisition with a Mont Blanc pen that costs more than your car. You're standing on the first floor, looking up. There's a ladder, 8 levels. Each one rips out something you didn't know you had. Most people never make it past level 3. The ones who reach the top discover something worse. The prize isn't worth what you paid for it. But by the time you figure that out, it's too late to climb back down. Let me show you what happens at every level. This is you on day 1. You won. You beat 50,000 applicants. You have a desk on the 31st floor, 2 monitors, a Bloomberg terminal you don't understand, a Slack channel that never sleeps. Your title is ANALYST. Your actual job is Excel monkey. You build financial models. You project how much money companies will make. You compare similar companies. You run scenarios. What if sales grow 5% instead of 3%? You format PowerPoint decks until 3 a.m. because your boss wants to font exactly 11.5 points. Not 11, not 12, exactly 11.5. You make $59,000 a year. Sounds good until you do the math. 70 hours per week, 52 weeks per year. That's 3,640 hours. Your hourly rate is $16. The barista who made your coffee makes $18. But something inside whispers, this is temporary. Everyone goes through this. It's the price of entry. You're lying to yourself, but you don't know it yet. It's 11:47 p.m. on a Wednesday. You've been at your desk since 7 a.m. You're rebuilding a model. Your VP changed one assumption. The company will grow 5% annually instead of 4.5%. That microscopic change makes the company worth $40 million more on paper. You'll never see a penny of that $40 million, but you'll spend the next 4 hours making sure every formula is perfect. Your phone buzzes. Your girlfriend. Are you coming over tonight? You, I can't, still at the office. Maybe this weekend. You don't make it that weekend either. 6 months later, she breaks up with you. She says you're married to your job. She's not wrong. Your first sacrifice, love. But you tell yourself it's worth it, that it's temporary, that everyone goes through this. 2 years pass like this. Then you get promoted, and you discover something terrifying. It doesn't get better. It just changes shape. Your title changed. Your life didn't. You're a senior analyst now. You make $125,000. You manage 2 junior analysts who remind you of who you were 24 months ago. Hungry, naive, thinking this is temporary. You know better. Your job is no longer just building models. Now you're quality checking the models the juniors build. You're the filter between their work and your boss's impossible standards. Every mistake they make is your mistake. One of your juniors sends a deck to the VP with a formula error on page 47. The valuation is wrong by $200 million. The VP catches it. You get the email. We need to talk. That conversation teaches you something important. In this business, there's no such thing as a small error. Every number is seen. Every mistake is remembered. The mask you wear gets heavier every day. You stop trusting other people's work. You check everything yourself. Your hours increase. Your friends from college who went into tech are making similar money working 40-hour weeks. They have hobbies, relationships, time. You have spreadsheets. But you're starting to see something they don't see. You're on client calls now. You don't talk. You listen. You hear the CFO of a $4 billion company discuss refinancing their debt. You watch your VP walk them through issuing new bonds. The interest rate is 8.5% per year, like paying credit card interest on hundreds of millions of dollars. Brutal. But the CFO signs anyway. He needs the money. He has no choice. You learn something. Deals are never just about numbers. They're about leverage, timing, and relationships. Your VP has all three. You have none. Not yet. One more year, then associate. Second sacrifice, the illusion that you have control. This is you at 28 years old. Associate, $180,000 all in. Your parents are proud. Your high school friends are impressed. Your college roommate who became a civil engineer makes $90,000. You make double. You don't tell him you work double the hours. You run deals now. Not the mega billion-dollar mergers. Those still go to the senior guys. But you handle the mid-market. You're on the other side of the table now. Your firm's fee on a $400 million deal is roughly $4 million. You don't complain. This is how it works. But you're starting to understand. The closer you get to controlling the client relationship, the more money flows your way. Right now, you execute. You don't bring in the clients. You learn that the real conversations happen after dinner, over scotch, quietly. A private equity guy mentions they're looking at buying a healthcare company. Asks if you know anyone who could analyze the numbers. You do. You make the introduction. 6 months later, that becomes a $600 million buyout. Your firm advises. Your name isn't on the press release, but you know you made it happen. Your VP knows too. You get a spot bonus, $15,000. It's not about the money anymore. It's about proving you can bring in business. Then the moment arrives. A client wants to buy their competitor. The price is high. Your bank collects $8 million in fees. 12 months later, the acquisition underperforms. The client writes off $150 million, admits they overpaid. You don't feel guilty. You feel like you understand the rules now. Your moral compass, it guided you once. Now, it shatters, like glass. Third sacrifice, your integrity. VP title, corner office, $450,000 in total compensation. You manage client relationships directly. You have 3 analysts and 2 associates reporting to you. That's what this title means. You close your first major deal, a $650 million debt refinancing for a utilities company. Your firm's fee is 1% of the deal size. Then the decision arrives. A company is struggling. They're about to break their debt covenants. The company defaults 18 months later. Employees lose jobs. The original lenders take losses. You're already gone, working on a new deal. You learn something important. In this business, you exit before the problems arrive. Always. One night, you come home. Your 7-year-old daughter is drawing in the living room. She sees you, doesn't smile. "You're late again," she says. Her voice has no emotion, just resignation. She's learned not to expect you. She shows you her drawing of the family. There are 3 figures: mom, herself, and the dog. You're not in the drawing. Fourth sacrifice, being the father you promised to be. 5 more years at this level, then managing director. The number in your head is $1.1 million. That's what you made last year. You don't build models anymore. You call CEOs directly. The chairman of a $5 billion industrial conglomerate picks up the phone on the second ring. That's what this title means. You structure a $2.8 billion leverage buyout. You sleep 5 hours a night. You haven't taken a real vacation in 4 years. A private equity firm wants to buy a nursing home chain. They're using 7 times the company's annual earnings in borrowed money. You structure it anyway. The deal closes. Your firm collects $18 million. 2 years later, the chain files for bankruptcy. Families sue, regulators investigate. You're long gone, working on new deals. One night at 2 a.m., you can't sleep. You sit in your home office. 13 bedrooms. You only live in one of them. You open your phone, scroll through your contacts. 847 names. You try to find one person you could call right now, just to talk, about nothing, about anything. You can't. Every relationship is transactional. Every conversation has an angle. Every dinner has an agenda. You are the most connected person you know. You are completely alone. Fifth sacrifice, the ability to connect with another human being. 7 years at this level, then you leave. You join a private equity firm. You stop thinking about salary. You're deploying capital now, not advising, controlling. Your fund manages $8 billion in assets. You take control positions. You buy companies. Your portfolio companies have 22,000 employees combined. You've never met most of them. The company will cut 1,200 jobs over 18 months to improve margins. You're not the one who delivers the news. The CEO does. You run the board call where the decision is made. You look in the mirror. The person staring at you isn't who you were at 23. And the most terrifying thing, you felt nothing when you did it. Your son is 14 years old. You've missed his last 3 soccer games. He stopped telling you when they are. One night, your ex-wife, your second ex-wife, calls. Our son asked if you ever loved him. You freeze. What did you tell him? I don't know, because honestly, I don't know either. She hangs up. You sit in silence. $4.2 million in carry this year. You can't buy back a single conversation with your son. 6th sacrifice. Your family. Complete. You manage $6.3 billion in assets. You trade currencies, government bonds, derivative instruments that let you bet on market movements without owning anything. You've been building it quietly for 9 months. No one outside knows. The Bank of Japan changes its interest rate policy. Your thesis was correct. In a single week, your fund makes $420 million. You feel nothing. Your soul was a building, 8 floors. Every year in this business, 1 floor burned. Now it's empty, just ashes. Your college roommate posts on Facebook. He just coached his daughter's soccer team to a regional championship. The photo shows him covered in Gatorade, smiling bigger than you've seen anyone smile in a decade. He makes $105,000 a year as a civil engineer. You made $105,000 in the last 6 trading days. You can't remember the last time you smiled like that. You close Facebook. You haven't posted in 4 years. What would you even say? Made a $420 million week on a Japan ball play? 7th sacrifice. The memory of what it feels like to be alive. No title required. Your name is on a trust. The trust owns a holding company. The holding company controls positions in 23 financial institutions across 12 countries. You are technically a private individual. You make decisions. 8 people execute them. One night, your daughter gets married. You're there, front row. You paid for everything. The venue, the dress, the 4-piece band flown in from Vienna. $340,000. You sign the check without looking at it. During the father-daughter dance, she cries. You think it's because she's happy. Later, your ex-wife tells you the truth. Your daughter cried because she barely knows you. She was dancing with a stranger who happens to be her father. You've seen her 11 times in the last 4 years. You sent money. Always money. $50,000 check for her graduation. You didn't attend. There was a rate decision in Frankfurt. She didn't cash the check for 8 months. That night, alone in a hotel suite in Singapore, you try to remember the last real conversation you had with her. You can't. You can remember the exact structure of a $4.2 billion sovereign debt play from 2019. You can recall the precise moment you knew the ECB would shift policy in 2022. You cannot remember your daughter's voice. You're trapped in a room. The walls are made of money. You can't get out. 8th and final sacrifice. Everything. Somewhere below, a 23-year-old walks through the lobby of a glass tower in Lower Manhattan. He beat 50,000 applicants. He logs in to his Bloomberg terminal for the first time. He sits very still for a moment. He thinks this is about the money. He's already wrong. It was never about the money. It was always about what you trade to get it. The ladder doesn't end. It just gets taller. The people at the top can't remember why they started climbing, can't remember how to stop, can't remember who they were before this. If you could go back and tell the 23-year-old the truth, would he listen? Probably not. Because the machine doesn't stop. It just finds new people to run it.